Hello everyone and welcome back. Um, I figured out what it all means, but before we talk about it, let's fight the boss. Let's fight the boss! Again with the Merciless Watchers? Yeah, it's gonna get very repetitive, looks like. Holy. Gucha. Easy. That was easy. Alright, so anyways, back to talking. So I actually have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I was wrong. Apparently, the whole fetid and rotten thing is not actually what is not actually what I was thinking. Where it like changes the dungeon to be fetid or to be rotted or whatever the hell is said there. So apparently, what fetid and rotted means is that it changes. It does something to the enemies and it does like something different. It's how do I explain it? I'm not really good at explaining shit, so I'll just read on the from the Bloodborne Wikipedia. So if I went to the Chalice dungeon and I click Fettid only, basically the Fettid offering it requires Sage's wrist and Sage's hair. And what the Fettid offering does is that it boosts enemy stats, it increases blood echoes, and increases number of items dropped by the enemies. It doesn't add any new enemy. So Fettid means that it boosts the enemy stats, it makes them harder, you get more echoes, and the number of items dropped, and it increases the number of items dropped by enemies. So like if I were to fight a troll and it dropped like 3 vials, I think it would actually drop more than 3 instead of 3. It would drop like maybe 5 health vials or 6 or something. So that's Fettid. It just makes everything harder and you get more items and more echoes. But the Rotted Offering is where it gets different. On Rotted Offering, it actually gives you different enemies and even I think Hunter NPCs actually. But let's read. So if you pick Rotted Offering on the Chalice ritual for the Root Chalice, it requires inflicted organ or yellow backbone. Uh, triggers one of or a combination of the following effects. The Eye Collector appears and summons Mad Ones. Tomb Prospector Hunters appear and Labyrinth Rite Keepers appears and increases the chance of getting powerful blood jams. The new enemies are the Eye Collectors, the NPC Hunters, and the Tall Labyrinth Rite Keepers. So the Eye Collector, as it said, uh, the Eye Collectors, they can summon Mad Ones. I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that's an NPC or if that's some other different enemy. And then there's the NPC Hunters. Tomb Prospector Hunters appear, which is the NPC Hunters, I guess. And then the Labyrinth Rite Keepers appears, and increases the chance of getting powerful blood jams. And then there's one more offering. So there's actually 3 offerings in this thing. There is Fetid, there's Rotted, and then there's Cursed. We don't see Cursed on the very first Themiru Chalice dungeon, I don't think. We only saw those 2 on the last video. And on the last video, we only saw the 2, which was the Fetid and the Rotted. But the Cursed offering, it requires the Bastard of Lauren, which can be acquired obviously in the Ailing Lauren Chalice. The player suffers by only having 1/2 of their normal health, so it cuts the health in half. It's basically, well, like I said in like a few previous videos, like the defiled and the cursed ones, it like reduces your maximum health by half. That's what the cursed offering does on the root chalice. It'll reduce your maximum health by half. All enemies will drop cursed blood jams. That's fucking crazy. Blood Echo's rewards increase by 20%, and it increases the drop rate of rare items. New enemies, there is none. Or it's just a question mark. So what I'm going to be doing is, see, that's the good thing, and that's the bad thing, right? The good thing is that it's not as what I was saying on the last video, where I have to like go through one route and then having to delete it, then having to go through go remake the root chalice and then put Fettid on, and then delete that root chalice and then remake it, and all that business. It's not like that. So since it actually gives benefits and it makes everything harder, what I'm thinking of is I'm going to create both of them. I'm going to make it Fettid and I'm going to make it rotted. And once I unlock the cursed offering, I'm also going to use the cursed offering as well. I'm going to put all three of them onto the root chalice when we do them, and that's gonna be fucking crazy. That is gonna be hard mode at its final. Like, I'm gonna struggle so hard on those. Boss fights are gonna be insane. They're gonna one hit me. Weak enemies are gonna one hit me. They're literally gonna sneeze on me, bro, when I have cursed, and I'm just gonna die, bro. That's just how it is. So the good part is that I can continue doing the root chalices and fighting these bosses, and but they'll be a lot harder. But the bad news is they're gonna be a lot harder. There's gonna be new enemies. There's gonna be all kinds of shit, bro. Like, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hardcore. So with that being said, I will be doing every single root chalice and any other chalices that I'm allowed to. There are some chalices that are actually for online, and as I always say, on my channel, I don't do any kind of online content. It's just mainly offline. That's how I do things. Um, but yeah, that's just how it's gonna go. Also, on the future videos, do expect to see a lot of bosses that we've already fought. Like, we've already fought these guys. Ew, bro. Ew. Put on some clothes. We've already fought these guys, the Merciless Watchers. Like, this is like the third time, I think. So do expect to see a lot of bosses that have been refought. I won't expect you guys to see much of those videos, to be honest. If the if the name of these bosses are like the same, I do expect then the future videos for these chalice dungeons to be very minimal, to be like up to like 6 or 7 or 10 or something. Like the very beginning when I started Bloodborne, the views has been hitting really high, and I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But past this point, I don't expect anybody to keep watching these, because that's just way too much. Unless you just, unless you're like munching on food or something and you're wanting to like just put something to listen to on the side, which that case, that's pretty lit. I don't mind that at all. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there you go, guys. Oh, that is the whole ordeal of all this whole bullshit. Oh, I'm relieved, to be honest. I'd rather having to face the root chalice and putting all these cursed, rotted, and fetid onto the offering than having to do what I said on the last video, because that would have been fucking crazy. I just would have been pissed. At least now I can just offer all these. I can put all these offerings onto the same root chalice and then just do the root chalice and be done with it, and then not having to go back at it again. That's a huge ease on my mind. It's fantastic. But there you go, guys. I do appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching that. Puts me to ease. Hopefully, it puts you guys to ease. If you guys are still wanting to watch like all the bosses past this point, hey, fantastic! You guys are awesome. That sounds great. But I'm not expecting to get a lot of views for this. That's all I'm gonna be saying. But anyways, guys, yeah, thank you for watching the Merciless boss fight, and I'll see you guys on the next video.